Centering is a combination of traditional one-on-one individual care with a provider with the benefit of having a group to share all your experiences and learn from each other.
For example, we were a group of 8 couples. Most of us were first-time parents, just like us, and some were expecting or preparing for their second born. And it's a great learning from them, knowing their experiences throughout the entire process.
Most importantly, to kind of learn that most of what they're experiencing is very normal, but they can do it in an environment with a bunch of other people who are also going through exactly the same experience that they are. And then from the partner perspective, they also get to learn a lot about pregnancy and be able to support their partners, and it's a great journey for them to do together as a couple.
We heard that if you're inexperienced, it helps you to understand what you're going to go through as you go through the process.
Centering is a different way of getting prenatal care and is a shared medical appointment so that all the women and often their partners come together and do all the educational and learning together. And then we have one-on-one assessments that are done privately so that we can check on the baby's growth and check on the baby's heartbeat and review the private concerns like laboratory results and things like that. But everything that happens in a traditional visit, all the labs, all the ultrasounds, all the care that people get is done in centering. We just do it in greater detail.
I felt like we were ahead of other parents, being a part of centering, getting all our questions answered. The facilitators cater it to what the group wants to learn and wants to hear.
And also to have all of these women learn from each other's questions, because they often have similar questions or even different questions.
Oh my gosh, I thought about that exact same question. I'm so glad you asked it because I was a little embarrassed to ask it myself.
We have pretty much the same schedule as we do in traditional care. You come in about once a month for a visit with the same group of patients who are all due around the same time as you, and spend about 2 hours together. We use that whole 2 hours to get to know each other and to learn everything we can about taking care of ourselves, taking care of the babies, preparing our families for caring for this new baby in the future.
I felt pretty prepared. In the end, I ended up having to change my plan, but they coached us through that. But it was great. They gave us a lot of good information that made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel scared.
Because starting from the knowing nothing to the point when we were in the hospital for that special moment, I think we didn't feel anything which is totally foreign or alien.
I think the biggest surprise about centering really has been how much more involved dad gets in the pregnancy, or the partner gets. But in centering, they are an integral part of the pregnancy. They really are learning right alongside their partner. They learn from the other partners in the group. It is so fantastic for the relationship beyond just helping these people get through pregnancy.
I learned how to swaddle a baby, which, who knows how to do that? And it's very technical when you do that. It was, I had to do it a couple of times to get the hang of it.
They learn to trust in their group. They learn to share their feelings. They learn about the pregnancy journey and the parenting journey.
You're focused so much, for instance, on just, okay, what do I need to do for this birth? And is the baby healthy as he or she's growing in me? But you don't think about things like, how is my communication with my husband or my significant other going?
I guess the thing is, you don't know what you don't know.
Pregnancy, for some people, they've never had this before. They've never experienced anything like this. So learning not just from me as a facilitator, but more from every person in the group, I think is very precious.
You get like a group of people to do it with, and it's so much fun to do it and see it while and even afterwards.
And then we all meet up again about 4 to 6 weeks after delivery.
I really like when they come in at session 10 and they bring all their babies together. I like seeing the journey from the beginning of pregnancy till the end of pregnancy and how happy they are at the end and how it was all worth it.
Yeah, so we are all connected via email, and when we were pregnant we did walks and lunch together, and now with babies we're doing lunch and walks together.
I feel like we're kind of all in a family together, and making that really strong connection and bond has been a great bonus.
So if you want to join Centering, the best way to join it would be to let your provider know, or when you're registering for prenatal care, let them know that you're interested in Centering.